You're right guys, so today we're going to be making something a little bit different. I've done bacon on the channel before. I've done belly of pork, turned it into streaky bacon. I've done loin, turned that into back bacon or Canadian bacon as most people know it as. So today we're going to be trying something a little bit different. Belly's probably the most expensive to get. Now, the one we're using today is quite a cheap cut, to be fair. I didn't go to my local butchers. I just got to clarify that. I do try and get off my local butchers as much as I can. But today I got from Morrison's, and it's a good cut of meat. It didn't cost a lot of money, super cheap to do. Making your own bacon really is a great hobby to start up. It's super simple. Anybody can do it. I did bacon with this one. This is Angus & Oink's honey mustard. I've got to say it is great stuff. Not using that today, but I'm just showing you what I've done before. Also, we had this smoky sweet maple. That's really good as well. Cannot fault it. But today we're going to be using the Christmas bacon cure from Angus & Oink. I've not used it before, so we're about to find out what it's like. With that being said, let's get to prepping the meat. Not a lot to it, but let's start. This is known as the equilibrium way of doing it. It's a dry cure. You just weigh 5% of your meat. So if you've got a kilo, it's 50 grams, and you literally just work it out from that, and that's what I've done. I've got 116 grams of cure. I think you guys need to come in a bit. Okay, so as I say, we've got this shoulder, better known as the pork butt within the USA and over here as well, to be fair, but a lot of people in the UK will only know this as a shoulder of pork. To make bacon out of this, apparently it's really good. As I say, I've done bacon every other way apart from this. I really want to try this, but what I'm going to do first is take the skin off. I really want to get that rind off. It is a faff, it can be a mission. You have got to use a fairly sharp knife. It was 11 pounds 62, 2 kilos, 324 grams. So it's a pretty good chunk of meat, and it's going to go far in the respect of making bacon. So first off, let's get this off. Let's take the butcher twine off. It's in pretty good shape, to be fair, and looking at it, the skin's almost half cut off anyway, so I'm not going to trim too much. We'll just see how we go. Let's get that skin off first. Okay, so take that off and do this separately. So we're going to keep that as one lump. We will still cure this. I'm going to add the cure to this all together, get it all nicely rubbed on. We'll make lardons out of this and use this lump for our sliced bacon. So that is it. That's all the prepping we're going to do. That actually smells quite amazing. That does smell quite Christmassy. So all you need to do now, get that cure all over this as much as you can. So any excess within the tub, just keep turning it and patting it in, and on all the sides, a little bit there, could do with some more. Pat it in, let it soak in, get it all over. Don't waste any of that cure, it's weighed up for this weight. So you need to get as much of that on as possible. We're going to vac seal this today. As I say, you can put it in a Ziploc bag, you can put it in a non-spoil tray like this, pat it all in. Give it a few minutes, make sure you use up all that cure. Like I say, it's important to get all that cure on there. Okay, so top tip for curing bacon, if you haven't got one of these, I really would strongly suggest getting one. Because of the salt, it draws all the moisture out, and obviously that will soak back in. So what we're going to do, we're going to vac seal this, put it in the fridge for 7 to 10 days. Now, it's different on there. It does actually state for every inch per day and a half or whatever, but I've always cured everything I do, whether that's pastrami, bacon, I always cure it for 7 to 10 days. I've never had a problem with that, and rule of thumb, that's what I go for. So with that being said, what I tend to do is fold it over. That way you've got less chance of getting any muck around where you want to seal it. So when it seals, it does actually seal, because if you leave it and push it in, you are going to get some muck on there, and it does affect the sealing process. So get that in there. Try and keep them separate. Just unfold that. As you can see, that keeps it clean. So you've got an actual clean spot for it to seal. Put that in, tuck it under. A lot of people say go moist for the setting. I like to do dry because it does suck all the air out, and really that's what I want. If you go moist, you do end up with a bit of air in there, so I just want all air out. So I'm going to go with that. Vac seal. Trying to help it by pushing the air out. You don't need to, but I always do. That's something I do. As you can see, it's starting to draw the liquid up. It's never done it to me. It's never pulled the liquid through. So it's just going for that last suction. Now it's going to seal. I do like to leave it a little while. Personally, if you open that straight away, it's not sealed properly. You want to allow that to dry off slightly and cool down. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to write on here the date and time, just so I know, so I don't forget, because things do happen. Life is life, and you do tend to sometimes think, damn, did I put that in there like 7 days ago, 5 days ago, 10 days ago, 15 days ago? Then going to put that in the fridge for anywhere between 7 to 10 days. Then we'll get it out, rinse it off. So we'll see you in 7 to 10 days, guys. Cheers. It's super cold out here in this shack. There is absolutely no heating whatsoever. So I'm going to make this fairly quick, not being horrible, but I've got a bath running. It's a school night and I just want to go and chill out. But with that being said, that just shows the dedication I've got for making bacon. Now, we went 10 days on this. To be fair, we went a little bit over because it wasn't that thick. It's not going to hurt. I've never had a problem with using Angus and Oinks cures and going over a few days. Like I said earlier on in the video, I do tend to sort of go 7 to 10 days regardless. It's just what I've always done with bacon and pastrami and curing meats, basically. We've taken this out of the vac seal. We rinsed it under the tap. I let it form a pellicle. So I took it out, put it in the fridge, let it form a pellicle. And normally what you do that for is for you to then smoke it. But we're going to do something a little bit different because it's us. I'm not smoking this. I've done a video on hot smoked bacon. You can go and check that out. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. But with this, we're going to add a little bit more Christmas joy to it. So come a bit closer and we'll get on with it. Now, I've cured bacon before where you're at this stage and I've actually added pepper to it. And to be fair, once you slice that thinly, you're only going to get that little tiny outer edge of the pepper, but it really does make a difference in the flavour profile. Not being funny, when you do pastrami, you add an extra layer over the top at the end. That creates a different element to the flavour. So with this bacon, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but not with pepper. We're going to use Angus and Oinks meat tinsel. Why not? Let's go. We're going to give it a good coating. Pat that in. As I say, this is only going to be for the outer edge. Pat that in. Spin it over. Can't beat home cured bacon. And as I say, this will add an element of different flavour to this bacon. We've already cured it with the Christmas cure, so why not just add that little bit extra? As you can see, it's stiffened up nicely. Just know this is going to be good. You just know it. As I say, we're just going to give that 5-10 minutes for that to adhere to it and allow that to be the outer edge. Bit of flavour. Okay, so let's have a look, see how we did. By using pork butt, as it's known widely in the States, you can just see there that you've got more smaller amounts of fat, more marbling. That is just going to be excellent bacon. It really is. You can see that already. As I say, I have got a meat slicer, but sometimes I just like to do it by hand. Don't get me wrong, you'll get more bacon if you used a slicer because it'll be more uniform, but I'm just showing you, you don't have to have all the gear. Obviously it helps with a sharp knife. Oh, smells awesome. Seriously, seriously amazing bacon. I mean, look at it. Look at the marbling. You know that's going to be awesome. The beauty of this is you can slice it exactly how you want, the lardons to whatever size you want. You know, imagine that Christmas Day, frying that up in your Brussels sprouts. It's just going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to amplify the dish amazingly. If you was to vac seal this up and give it away as presents for Christmas, you can't go wrong with homemade cured bacon. And when it's done with pork butt, pork shoulder, it's just so much better. It really is. It's a game changer when it comes to bacon. So get yourselves to making some, guys. I mean, look at it. Look at that. A nice amount of intramuscular fat in with that. It's going to go awesome in sandwiches, mixed into a pasta dish, you name it. It's just going to be so good. I hope you liked the video, guys. Please remember to subscribe. It doesn't cost a penny and it absolutely helps the channel out massively. We really appreciate it. We really do. Until then, Go and cook something exceptional, and I'll see you when I see you. Cheers, guys. Get slicing some more. Got to vac seal this up, giving it away as gifts to friends. You just definitely cannot go wrong.